Good afternoon and welcome to Wellness Series with Lush. I'm your host. My name is Lucia Malebazi. Today we're going to look at fusing passion with health promotion. In studio, I'm joined by Sharon, who's worked largely with different kinds of campaigns in the country in promotion of health. Sharon, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
And how are you?
I'm awesome.
The last time I heard about you and even worked with you for a little bit was when you were busy with, you were actively involved with cancer awareness. How is that going?
I'm still in it. Still in it. I cannot run away from that.
I was just asking deliberately. Yeah. I know that you work with different kinds of health promotion, with you being heavily, attracted or heavily involved with non-communicable diseases.
Right. Yeah.
And then later on, we will touch a bit on one of the projects or the campaigns that you're working on currently, just so that Botswana out there get to know, the different activities that are there, the different centers that are being put up, and also just to, have a conversation with themselves to just know where they can assist and feed on to their social well-being, for instance.
Definitely.
All right. So let's talk about, as an individual who every day you wake up to promote health, let's talk about one of your main concerns right now.
Okay. Right now, I'm actually really trying to work out about prostate cancer.
Okay.
The reason why prostate cancer is because obviously we know a lot of men generally do not seek. They don't go to health facilities until it's like proper too late or they really feel the pain. Yes. So prostate cancer for me, obviously because I'm in cancer and this is one of the most common cancers that are affecting men. And we are finding that a lot of younger men are actually being diagnosed with prostate cancer.
That is interesting because I think growing up, we were told that one of the predisposing factors for prostate cancer is, the elder ages, your 50s and above. So when you say young men, what age are we looking at?
We do have men who are being diagnosed even in their 30s, which is really scary because that's part of your reproductive system. And some will not have already had a child by then, so it's really a trying time. And when you are diagnosed with it, there's depending obviously on the level that it is diagnosed, you might find yourself to know that you're not going to be able to have children.
Which can be like a negative, bring in negative energy because especially to one who would want to be a parent. And one thing I love about what you've just said is it obviously addresses males, right?
Yes.
And we know that we're always talking about breast cancer, we're always talking about cervical cancer, and sometimes men tend to feel like they're being neglected. And I love that you brought it up. And you're actually highlighting the fact that it is a concern even to younger men now. So what are some of the signs that one needs to look out for breast, I'm talking about breast cancer, for prostate cancer?
For prostate cancer, the main ones that you really need to look out for, pain in the lower back, especially if you've not been doing any heavy lifting.
Okay.
That's something that you really need to look at because obviously, just generally with the cancers, you usually only see physical symptoms when it's at later stages.
A little bit advanced,
So the lower back pain, when you take a painkiller and it keeps coming back, that's something to look out for. And also the pressure when you urinate, if it's not the usual pressure weight where you are able to hit into the bowl, you also really need to look at that. And then in the later stages, obviously you may find like traces of blood in the urine as well. So those are the main ones that you really need to be aware of.
And I guess also that's one reason one needs to go out and screen, and just go to a doctor and say, just check if I'm well. You don't necessarily, we were talking earlier on in one of the shows prior to this one with Dr. Tanyala that, you don't necessarily have to wait to feel that pain or to see that blood stain, but just to have the confidence and the motivation to say, look, I'm taking care of myself. So I'm going to the doctor to say, can you check me from head to toe? And I believe one of the screenings then for males would be to check the prostate.
Yeah, I mean, if you have your medical aid, use it every year. Just have a full body checkup. If not, I mean, even we have a good health system in place where you can do screening. Just every year, take time for yourself to say, okay, I know we do our me time a lot, so your me time should also include just visiting a health facility. Just be checked generally.
Yeah, and getting to know yourself from head to head to toe.
It's very important.
All right. And excitedly, Sharon, you are also involved in a project in Gaborone that has to do with cancer.
Yes.
And I'm smiling because I think it's a great idea. I don't want to spoil it. I'm going to allow you to share with Botswana what Happy Heart is all about and what are you planning on doing with the center and whom is it for?
Right. Okay. So for a few years now, we've been working on a project called Happy Hearts Home, and it's basically an interim home for childhood cancer. And I mean, kids. We all love kids, so so it made sense to pick
Our
kids.
little angels. Yeah.
Yes. So we as Ladies Circle Botswana, it's a group of ladies from different backgrounds between the ages of 8 and 45, and we basically do friendship and service, and service is giving back to the communities that we live in because they're the ones who really are giving us these advantages in life, and it's just to appreciate the community that we're living in. So with the Happy Hearts Home, we wanted to build an interim home for the kids when they're doing their treatment. They don't necessarily always have to be in hospital. So we wanted to give them a place where they could live with their guardian and have that home away from home feel.
I was just about to say that you wanted to give them a home.
Yes.
For them to even help with the recovery.
Yeah, because it's very difficult to be in hospital. So if you are away from home, at least you have somewhere where you can actually put your head down and be in a room that is adjacent to your guardian as well. And you're able to go through your treatment, and when you're well enough to travel, you're able to go back. Because we do have patients who are coming from as far as Bokasani who need that space.
That homely space, yeah? And how far are you with that project?
We've gone quite a distance. We're really happy about the progress that we've done, especially with the COVID times. We are about to complete 2 complete blocks.
Okay.
We are just we're left with fencing and water and the electricity connection for the place to be habitable. So that's what we're working on now, and we are really hoping that by March, we'll be able to hand it over to our beneficiary, who is Cancer Association of Botswana. Because this project, when we started it, we really wanted to ensure that we had a beneficiary, Cancer Association of Botswana, who've been working with, who work with cancer patients, and also the Ministry of Health and Wellness, so that they also make sure that we are making this place a place where they are satisfied that their patients also benefit and are taken care of.
Yeah. Wow, and you really have achieved a lot. And I love the fact that you guys are doing this as it's a voluntary. It's you're giving back to the community, and that's one way of saying you're taking care of your social well-being, which is really great. And I'm hoping that to the viewers out there who are watching right now, that is inspiring them and kind of motivating them, to also do something to give back to the community, because that not only is it good to the end person, but also to you. It's quite fulfilling.
Yes,
Is
definitely.
it
Fulfilling is the word. There is such a fulfilling. There's a feeling of just satisfaction that you've helped another person.
Yeah.
So I mean that's our driving force really in terms of when you see those faces of people who've benefited, it's really satisfying.
Yeah. And our little angels, the kids, those who have cancer, will have a home when they come for their treatments. I think that is also a warming factor to this whole thing.
Definitely. They are our future leaders, so we do need to take care of them.
Exactly. Are there any last words that maybe you would like to say to our viewers out there in regards to, and we talked about 2 things today. We talked about prostate cancer as one of the concerns that you have, and then also the center. What are your last words to our viewers?
I think essentially the biggest thing is take care of yourself. And you take care of yourself by obviously the health facilities, but also taking care of yourself by taking care of others.
Yeah, and taking care of others.
Yes.
No, that's very important. The reason why I wanted to say not forgetting yourself,
Yeah.
which is also very important, because I know that we have viewers out there who are very good at taking care of others, and they get so depleted that they end up giving others or taking care of others on a zero. So we always have to take care of your cup first, they say,
Yes.
so that when you give out, you know that you're not really draining yourself. But that is very, very right, to give back to the community. And we are glad that you joined us on the Wellness series with Lush. And I hope that the viewers out there can also lend a hand. I'm definitely going to lend a hand in making sure that the center, becomes a success, so that our children out there can have a home whilst they receive their cancer treatment.
Thank you so very much for having us. Always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you, Sharon. Well, that was it for today. We don't always get to talk about conditions all the time. Sometimes we look at what other people out there are doing to give back to the community, of course, in the wellness space. And today we had Sharon. I hope that you're motivated to actually give back in your community in regards to promoting healthy lifestyle and healthy habits. From me, Lush, join me again next week.